Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Red Dead Redemption 2. Previously, man, we did a few things, but it felt like a lot. So we essentially helped Eagle Flies, our Native American friend, taking some horses back that were stealing some horses, taking some horses back. Let's go with that word. Horses that were stolen by the government, by the army at Fort Wallace, and in the process, Dutch was kind of using them in order to um, kind of make some distractions. We also met up with Sister Calderon in Saint Denis and did some other minor things. Ended up hunting down the legendary Bull Gator and visited the graves of Hosea and Lenny. A few things that I thought were really important. So with that being said, let's jump back in. We are going to meet up with Sadie and Dutch about Como Driscoll in Saint Denis, and then we are going to head out to Rhodes area to meet up with Penelope Braithwaite. So let's see how that plays out.
Okay, girl.
Bonjour, monsieur. Morning. Get going, will you?
He's going to get in his way.
Don't you worry about me.
There you are. Here I am. Come on, let's go. Let's go where? And why are you so riled up?
Today is a great day, Arthur. Today is the day they are going to hang Colm O'Driscoll.
That's so.
Rather they hang him or I shoot him.
Oh, they are gonna hang him.
Yeah, and not before time.
That boy's been on the gallows more than most. I wouldn't count anything until his neck's broke.
Well, nor would I. Which is why, despite us being wanted men, we're gonna attend the event ourselves.
And follow him onto the scaffold?
Well, let's hope not. But if I could see that son of a bitch breathe his last, I think I'd die a happy man. We are gonna disguise ourselves.
In this?
In this.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, don't we just look the part?
We'll cut through the alley to get to the gallows. We keep our weapons holstered, our disguises on, and our wits about us.
Mrs. Adler, might I say, being a fancy woman of Saint Denis suits you.
I'd dress up like the Queen of Sheba if it meant seeing that son of a bitch swing.
Colm hung me up. Nearly butchered me. That don't mean I'm comfortable in this woolen coat.
You made it out of that predicament, as I remember, Mr. Morgan. My husband weren't so lucky.
You lost your husband. I lost my darling Annabelle. That poor boy Kieran. We've all lost something because of Colm. And that is why we will shepherd him to eternity.
Amen to that.
Now keep those fingers off those triggers, because we'll need cool heads and calm dispositions to see this done.
Practice what you preach, brother.
Whatever do you mean?
Are you gonna keep your cool? Really? When you seem to lose it all so often now.
This doubting and questioning of yours, I miss the old Arthur.
Don't we all?
You two quit it. Y'all got a job to do, and we're all in rough agreement about how we're doing it. As far as I can tell.
Exactly.
We'll get it done, all right.
All right then. Come on. We got a hanging to witness.
Look here, don't the public love an execution?
Kind of weird if you ask me. The things people used to do for entertainment.
Hey? All right, good. Now, you see that pair of assholes?
Sure.
They're Combs boys.
Yes, I think so.
What a surprise. I'm glad we're here. What are they pointing at?
I don't know. We gotta follow them and find out.
Yeah. Oh, here comes somebody. Stay here.
Don't do nothing.
Go brush that horse, officer.
Yes, sir.
The crowd came to see a show. We don't want to disappoint them.
I guess they did miss their chance to see John swing by his neck.
Hey. You know I wasn't going to let it come to that.
Weren't
I
you?
guess I don't know what I know no more.
And I guess this isn't the time to question either my decisions or yours. Here and now, Colm O'Driscoll's going to get his due. He's cutting in there. Let's go. Quiet.
What's it look like?
Bunch of cops.
How many?
Enough. So what do you think?
All's up on the roof. Once he starts shooting, we have to have our wits about us and move fast.
Yeah, I guess we faced worse than this before.
Sure. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
So, they got a guy up on the roof overlooking the gallows. Find a way up there, onto one of these verandas, through a building maybe, and get him. And do it silently.
Well, obviously I'm gonna do it silently. I want to see this bastard swing.
Oh, Arthur, here's a ladder. Find a way up to the roof and stop him. I'll go back to Mrs. Adler.
With you.
Where's this shooter then?
Mary spent a fortune on that young filler. Left town last week without so much as a goodbye.
Well, what we got here? Your boss is gonna swing, I promise. Well, Colm, there goes your escape plan.
Fair citizens of Saint Denis, for as long as any of us can remember, it is justice that separates us from barbary. Yet justice itself can at times be barbaric. For sometimes a man is so savage, the only way to deal with him justly is by savagery. Colm O'Driscoll is one such man. He has murdered, tortured, robbed, stolen, raped, and abused for a decade across 5 states, seemingly with impunity. Today, justice catches up with him.
As well you may. I've been a bad man.
Silence!
These charges are...
This is not a court where you shall be tried. This is a place where your sentence is to be carried out. And your sentence, Colm O'Driscoll, is that you are to be hanged by the neck until you are dead. This is not a task we take lightly. It is not a task we enjoy. But it is a task we must carry out if our civilization is to prosper. Gentlemen, are we ready? Colm O'Driscoll, may God, in his infinite wisdom, have mercy upon your soul. Whenever you are ready.
Now you know how it feels to watch somebody you love die. You ruined my life!
Arthur! If you can hear me, shoot some of these O'Driscolls!
Gotcha.
No more badges left to get between us.
Damn ya! Let's finish
Watch out, he's going for you! On me! Whoa, look out!
Hold it right there. That's it all. Gonna get another chance.
Where are you guys?
Judge will die same day as Colm O'Driscoll.
That wagon is going to get out of here! Come on! Well, we got him.
Let's just get out of here.
Go!
How you get on, Arthur?
Well, we saw the bastard hang okay, but the whole thing ain't gonna save us.
I guess that's one less thing to worry about.
I guess compared to the entire government, in the end, Colm O'Driscoll didn't seem like such a worry.
A letter came for you.
Oh, okay.
I know it's from that Mary.
Mary?
She ain't worth it, Arthur.
Who is?
My dear Arthur, you never showed up. And now, after looking at the newspapers, I understand why. I don't imagine you'll receive this letter, but I, nonetheless, must send it. Arthur. Oh, Arthur. I was just starting to dream the silliest and softest of dreams. I miss you, and I will always miss you. But I cannot live like that. And it seems you cannot live any other way. When I'm with you, the world makes sense, but when we are apart, I see clearly that your world is not a world from which one can escape. I'm so sorry for everything. For everything long ago, and for starting up that business again. There's a good man within you, Arthur, but he is wrestling with a giant. And the giant wins time and again. You've broken my heart again, and I fear I have broken yours. And for that, I will never forgive myself, but you must let me go now. I enclose a ring you gave me many years ago, when we were both young. Not because I don't like it, but because I care for it far too much, and it reminds me too much of you. I hope one day you will find some people in love who can use this, for it kept me thinking of you all these years, and I hope by returning it to you, I can finally be free. Goodbye, Mary.
I feel like it's probably the most honest she's been from the start. You know, like I said, I know a lot of people dislike Mary because they see her as just using Arthur, and I can see that. But at the same time, I think she really did love him. I think she did. But I think Arthur at this point knows that it's too late for him either way. Oh boy.
Mr. Morgan, you don't look very well.
I'm not, Reverend. I fear I'm pretty sick.
I'm so sorry.
You seem well, on the other hand?
Yes, I've stopped all that silly business. I think I'm okay.
Well, that's wonderful news. How?
I don't know. I met a Catholic lady, a nun, and we prayed, and it was lifted. The curse was lifted.
Good.
I can't believe it. Really, I can't. All those years I wasted.
And of course, he's referring to his sister Calderon, or Calderon, or however you pronounce it. See, everything else is falling apart, and he's bringing himself around. Gotta respect that.
Arthur,
Susan?
someone smashed the box.
What box?
The money box. We'd had that for so many years.
Why did they smash it?
Well, I don't know. Look at this place. All divided. Everyone anxious and at each other's throats. I'm heartbroken.
Me too. Me too. You all right, girl?
Hey, partner. Hurry up. You search that and I'll toss this. Ooh, look here. I think I got something.
Mercury's?
I should be searching. It's a boot. And if it ain't my size, I need a...
I'll break for Murphy. For Murphy blood. Oh, here come the rest.
Maury, of course.
I hate Murphy's so much.
Let's go, girl. Slow it up.
Oh, you came. You came. You finally came.
I came.
Oh, thank you, you lovely, lovely man.
Calm down, miss.
Oh, come on, let's go. We ain't got a minute to lose. They killed her. They killed Miss Calhoun. All she wanted was a better lot for women, and they killed her, those pigs.
Who killed her?
I don't know. My cousins, probably, or Beau's. Well, you met them. They're animals. Not even animals. Monsters. Monsters, if God had lost all his powers of imagination. Can you please take me to the train station? Beau will be waiting.
Beau, why couldn't he come and rescue you?
Well, if they saw me and him together, they'd lynch him and send me off to a nunnery. Or maybe they'd lynch us both. I ain't quite sure. They do so love hanging folk.
Where you heading?
Up to Boston.
Good. Yeah, I like you up there. Come on, let's go.
Of course. I'm in your hands. Just get me to Rhodes Railway Station.
Okay, let's try and get you a train. And Beau's just waiting at the station in the hope you'll show up, or I'll show up to help you show up.
He goes to there every day he can. Makes up some excuse or other. I said he would see me there one day soon, and today he will. God willing.
Well, well. If he's there, that's true love, all right.
I've hardly seen him since the rally. They watch me so carefully, and he's waited, or so his letters say. Our families won't let us out. And then all that business with Aunt Catherine and my cousins. You saw the house. And then Lee Gray and those boys killed. So much bloodshed. You'd think this could be a new beginning, but everyone left alive. They're even more angry.
Maybe anger's a complicated thing to let go of.
Something good has to come out of this awful, awful feud.
That's what I've been hoping.
Beau and I have to be better. Our families were here for years and years. Sometimes I feel like we can't just leave death and pain and ruination behind us.
Plenty before you have. Plenty will again. But, yeah, as far as it goes, get out, don't look back, make something decent of your lives.
He's a good man, isn't he, Beau?
There are worse.
He's kind, and he's caring, and he's strong.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. He's a lot of things, but...
And not strong like you, but strong enough to stand up to his family. To be different from folk. You don't know how hard that can be. To say something is wrong when everyone around you thinks it's right.
No, perhaps I don't. He is a good man, and he's lucky. You're both lucky to have each other.
This could be the best day of my life, or the worst. I can't bear not knowing which.
Hold on. It'll be clear soon enough.
There he is. Oh, it's him. Will you ride on the train with us a little, just to the first stop?
Fine.
Good morning, friend.
You came! You came! At last, you came!
Oh, Beau, my sweet, my best of men.
Oh, I'm hardly a man at all. But I love you, Penelope Braithwaite. Sir, how can we ever repay your kindness?
Some of them jewels would do just fine.
Beau, Arthur's gonna join us. I think we need the support. Please, could you buy the tickets, dear Mr. Morgan? We can't chance being seen.
Sure.
Thank you. We'll meet you on the platform.
Alden.
Can I have 3 tickets to Saint Denis, please, sir?
Of course. Oh, hello, sir.
Hello, Alden. I hope all is well.
Not terribly, but good to see you.
Hey! Cousin! No! Hey! No, you leave us alone! Penelope, get back!
Excuse me, Alden. Here, get on the train. Get your bags, miss. I got this.
Come here, Yankee.
With pleasure, you goddamn fool. You don't want to come back here without giving you a whipping.
We should have done this last time.
Get on the train, folks. Go to your woman. Oh, now there's only one in. Ain't this fun?
Arthur, please get on!
Quick, come up on the train!
Priorities here, okay?
Goodbye, Rhodes.
Hello, future.
All right, all done. That is quite a family you got there, son.
I know. Charming to the last. Then again, my uncle used to keep his own half-brother as a slave, so what do you expect? Good manners?
My uncle used to say things were better the way they were, when he could rape and kill with impunity, and he didn't have to work a day in his life.
Both our families. There's good people in this county, but our families bully them and drove most of them off, whites as well as blacks, all over this silly feud.
Yeah, well, how to life.
Oh, my lord.
What? Oh, I think it's my second cousin.
What is with all these goddamn cousins?
I think they found out about the jewels.
All right, keep your heads down. I'll deal with this. Jewels? I knew you had some damn jewels.
They're coming from over the hill.
Penelope Braithwaite, this ain't about no star-crossed lovers. She's robbed her own family blind. Good for her, I guess. I'd kill my cousin soon as she touched the gray.
They're coming from behind the trap.
Watch out, Mineria. I don't want you getting hit. Last thing I need. Great.
It's all gonna be all right.
Oh, damn those brutes! Damn those brutes!
It's all right. It's over. Look! Is that the driver? He's abandoning us.
Hold tight, all right? I'll take a look up front.
What will you do?
I'll figure it out. Damn it, you did run. Remind me to rob your trains, mister.
Play around with this a bit. Oh yeah. This is kind of awesome. Location brings me back just a bit. Oh no, there's a deer on the track. Oh no.
Why have we stopped?
It's best you go on alone from here.
Mr. Arthur, I didn't know you could drive a train.
Neither did I. But if I'm honest, it was kind of fun. And I didn't kill any of us. Well, I killed some of your relatives, but they would have killed all of us.
You are a gentleman, sir.
Oh, no, I ain't.
Yes, you are. Here, I ain't got much money, but these sapphires are worth a lot of money. Old family heirloom.
That Braithwaite treasure. I couldn't take it. No. Let's get you off to Boston before any more of your relatives show up.
That might be wise.
Hey, you there? Yeah? This couple is heading up north to the Boston line. They got money, they'll pay you on arrival. That work for you?
Yeah, sounds fine. Get on in.
Hey, you carry protection on a journey like this?
I wouldn't be much of a stage driver if I didn't. Goes everywhere I do. Hey!
Miss Braithwaite is going to hold on to this until arrival. On account of the treasure on your person.
I don't know how to thank you.
You're a fine man, sir.
Just get out of here. I'll leave. Yeah!
Ironically enough, if you take the treasure, you also gain honor for it. I don't know if it's just because you're helping them either way, but... Or potentially a nod to completing Hosea's mission of getting the Braithwaite treasure. You know, something else that I think is kind of interesting too, a couple of things with Penelope. If you kind of go back to the estate, if you take her around to where the sister is locked up, she does comment on her, on how she'll try to send for her to get her put somewhere better. Which I thought was kind of interesting. So Saint Denis Times, number 49. That should be our next one. Saint Denis robbers still on the run. Money could be buried. Dead still unclaimed. Sheriffs searching for Boodle? Never heard of that one before. The funeral flowers have wilted, the widows long since forgotten, but none will forget the audacious robbery of the Lemoyne National Bank a few weeks back. It not only ended the lives of those shot defending justice, it ruined many lives of those who saved their money for months and years, only to have it taken by a murderous band of thieves. The Vanderlyn gang woke the bloody morning thinking they were to have an easy target of the bank, until they were surprised by Pinkerton agents who put up a good fight, killing 2 members of the gang. 19-year-old Lenny Summers and Hosea Matthews, believed to be approximately 55, were reportedly both killed, but the bodies were never found in the cleanup, which took a number of days. Mr. Matthews was a wanted man in at least 6 different states. A further gang member was arrested and awaits trial. The rest of the gang escaped and remain at large. Some think they may have fled the country. And we did for a while, so that's, of course, going back a few episodes for us. Leader of Guarma assassinated. Alberto Fusar dead. Beloved leader cut down. Oh my god, beloved leader, really? Great sorrow and scenes of rage in Guarma. The horrifying assassination of the governor of the island of Guarma has caused the most intense of excitement in many of the islands in the Spanish West Indies. Reports conflict as the details of his demise, though early assumptions are that it was part of an attempted coup. It sort of was. Business leaders in the United States speak warmly of Mr. Fusar as a kind and effective leader who brought peace and prosperity to the region, supported workers' rights, and took a particular interest in a lot of women on the island. American businesses have done a great deal of trade with him in sugar and saw him as a progressive leader and humanitarian. It was initially believed that the murder was led by a revolt of the plantation workers who processed the sugar. However, reports have begun to reach the mainland that several white men were involved in the assassination, and some are blaming a band of socialist insurrectionists who are believed to have been causing discontent across the region. These were dismissed by some locals who say tensions have grown in recent years as working conditions deteriorated as American importers insisted on lower prices for sugar. And we saw how they were treating those people. They were treating them like slaves, and some of them literally were taken from other islands as slaves. So I don't know if Guarma was even populated before that or not. Stagecoach missing, road agents feared, due in Annesburg days ago. A stagecoach and 5 passengers are missing, and friends and family of those journeying on it are fearing the worst. Each day, Etta Buckley expected word that her daughter Meredith had arrived from Saint Denis, yet when she asked at the stagecoach stop, no word had arrived. Multiple coaches came and departed, and after its scheduled terminus, and none had word of, nor had seen or heard anything about the missing vehicle, it seems as if the coach has simply vanished into thin air. It was carrying a man, 2 women, including Buckley's daughter, and a 5-year-old boy. If indeed her daughter is dead, it will be a terrible blow for Mrs. Buckley, who has sought treatment from the doctor for hysteria and is holding court in her parlor under sedation from a pharmacist's tonic. Okay, I gotta trace that back. Stagecoach. Due in Annesburg. Okay. Meredith, I think, was the girl that we rescued from Beaver Hollow, our current camp, when it was populated by the Murphys, because she was supposed to be in Annesburg. And that's where we met her mother. I'm pretty sure the girl's name was Meredith. So I think that's the girl we rescued when we got back from Guarma and found her a new camp. Cornwall Army contracts supplies to ship by rail, exclusive deal with save costs. The Cornwall Railroad contract currently in negotiations is being hailed as much-needed boost to both the military and rural communities. Once signed, citizens and soldiers in outposts far and wide can expect on-time supplies, and more importantly, payroll that shows up in a timely manner rather than a week or 2 late, which can hamstring families' abilities to purchase basic necessities. Supporters of the Cornwall Plan hope there is no way for the government to back out of it. Many have long waited for a reliable means of transporting goods and money with the outside world. This is especially true in places where roads are unfavorable or road agents are looking to rob the payroll for the soldiers and government men who serve so dutifully. Industrious Leviticus Cornwall's involvement in expansion plans are certainly encouraging news. Annisburg mine accident. So Annisburg is kind of a new place for us. We've only been there a few times, really. A habit at the mine, workers call for higher pay. Owner says mine unprofitable. It appears from the dispatches that workers at the coal mine in the town of Annisburg are asking for 20 cents on the ton over the cost of mining it. Workers say decent wages could be paid to the men who toil to mine the coal. Controversial mine owner Archibald Jameson has long argued that the mine is easily worked as there are immense stores of clear coal at very shallow depths. He says based on the national market conditions, he and other mine owners in the country have made almost nothing in profit for 4 years, in spite of substantial outlays. A common gripe of the workers is that conditions at the Annisburg mine are exceedingly dangerous, and that Jameson is a carpetbagger who moved to the area and has long been exploiting the land and people. Jameson has stated repeatedly that he is one of the largest, most generous employers in the area, and that workers' organizations have always been responsible for their own safety measures. Warnings of Roanoke Ridge. Travelers said to disappear, especially women and children. Reclusive cave dwellers suspected, and that's going back to the stage I was mentioning. Travelers in the wild country west of Annisburg are nervous. Recently, some have been warned to avoid the area entirely. Authorities are still seeking information on the disappearance of Agnes Henshaw and her 2 sons last month. Their wagon was found looted, and there was evidence of a struggle. Rumors persist that Roanoke Ridge has been taken over by criminals who live in caves like primitive peoples, only emerging to rob and kidnap travelers. Those that have escaped their clutches say that they have seen evidence and examples of cannibalism, and that the Murphy brood, as they are called, are said to subsist on huckleberries and the flesh of young women and children. Others say these are the fantasies and fairy tales of people too often consumed with pulp novels, and that the criminal element in the area are like any other ne'er-do-wells. Regardless, locals will not travel to the cave regions any longer, and commerce has suffered as a result. Okay, the sad story of Otis Miller Jr., son of famous outlaw, finally set free. Around many a family piano and campfire, they sing to the famous song. Otis Miller was a lad that killed many a man. He robbed the Lannahechee train, but that cowardly killer that shot Mr. Miller has laid Otis in his grave. Otis Miller Jr. was the only 6 years old at the time his outlaw father was killed by a fellow outlaw. He then grew up to find himself arrested last year for the holdup of dynamiting of a Pacific Union train. At the time of his arrest, he was working on a cigar stand in the corridors of the courthouse where he would be tried. After a train carriage was dynamited, a suspect wrote a full confession implicating Miller Jr. as the leader of the gang, firmly believing that the officials would no doubt assume that the son had taken after his father. However, after several months in prison, it was found that the confession was fabricated, and Mr. Miller was set free. The elder Miller was once the most famous bandit in the world, having in 1866 performed the first holdup and robbery of a train. That name sounds familiar, but I can't point a connection on it that I'm aware of. Otis Miller. I wonder if that's a real outlaw. My cows strayed. From my home not 2 weeks ago, 3 cows, one a black cow with horns, sawed and tagged in one ear, the other 2 both tan and white spots, all 3 are very good milkers, and ran off during an electrical storm. Information as to the whereabouts is graciously received and very generous and thoughtful reward tendered. T.K. Linningham. He drew a big revolver. Famed gunslinger battle. Calloway dead. Okay, so this is going right back to just before we hit the bank. When the smoke cleared at Brandywine Drop, a score was settled, and two legendary gunslingers, Slim Grant and Jim Boy Calloway, were dead. Gunslinger turned marshal, Slim Grant, was shot by Calloway, who was seeking revenge for the untimely demise of his cousin many years ago. After mortally wounding Grant, Calloway was shot in the back in a final act of cowardice. Witness to the events preceding their deaths was author and historian Theodore Levin, who is currently penning a biography on Calloway, in which he promises to chronicle in detail the tragic last moments and words of two legends of a lost era. And of course, we know that's not the true story. Slim Grant walked away and Calloway shot him in the back and then turned on us. All right, and last one. Oh, I hate Jeremy Gill so much. I can hear the pretension in the writing. I can't stand that guy. I'm sorry, every time I come to these articles from him, I get more and more angry. The Art of Angling by Jeremy Gill. Long-nosed gar. One recent evening, while lining the leader with an impressive catch of long-nosed gar caught up in Lemoyne, I noted that my bounty had astonished the neighbor and indeed his wife, who looked on with envy and a sense of remorse at what could have been. Her dullard husband is subjugated to smashing rocks at a quarry or some other life of remorseless toil in a factory or office, while I, the man she insanely rejected, am an international celebrity and world-leading expert in his field. For most intelligent women, fishing is indeed the greatest aphrodisiac. Really? While fishing in South America, entire villages were known to throw themselves at me, man, women, and bees. Oh my god, dude, stop writing. Which, believe me, could create remarkable confusion and contortions. Yes, confusion, that's all I'm getting out of this. Who in their right mind would want to be around you? I had traveled there, no saltiness here. I had traveled there to catch gar, a fantastic creature that responds well to lures and likes overcast conditions. Try your luck, you might catch a wife. Oy. I feel icky after reading that one. Okay. Looks like it's a good time to sleep, right? Come on, give me, there we go. Let's do till morning. Okay, so this is the gator we killed in the previous episode. That's the bull gator. So that is our last legendary that we have access to. Or was. Got a letter from Mary. What did I expect? What did I want? Weren't never meant to be and never really was, and yet somehow, in the end, I discovered I had a heart because it was broken. Oh, you fool. You sad, deluded fool. Torn in two by different ideas of who you were, and it turns out you weren't neither of them. And his famous line that I actually have quoted here is when he was talking to John, and he says, look, just do one thing or the other, not be two men at once, or something on that order. Bad paraphrasing beyond that. I think that's kind of why he was telling John that. You know, he knows what that's like. So I think looks like that's our only update really since since our previous episode. All right, that is a good place to close things out. So we started off by meeting up with Sadie and Dutch and Saint Denis. Como Driscoll was set to hang, and of course, they're commenting on how he always gets away anyway. And so we made sure that didn't happen. And Como was laughing right up until the end when he noticed Dutch, Sadie, and the crowd, and that I had taken up the sniper on the rooftops as Arthur, and that was the end of it for him. So we just kind of made our escape after that. And on our way, when we got back to camp, I think it was Mary Beth that came to talk to us, or maybe it was Tilly. Might have been Tilly. I think it was. And we essentially received a letter, and it was from Mary. She returned the ring that we had given her years ago, kind of as a way to officially separate from us. She said she waited for us. We didn't come, and I think she really meant it. I think, like I said, as much as people seem to not like Mary, and I understand why, I agree. I think she does love Arthur, and I think she meant it when she said, I waited for you, but you didn't show up. Arthur said it, like I said, the quote, just do one thing or another. Don't try to be two people at once. And that's what he's been, unfortunately, doing all these years with Mary. And John called him out on it at the time. He said, that's exactly, it's exactly the same thing that you've been doing. And at this point, too, it doesn't really matter because Arthur's sick and the prognosis is not good. So outside of that, we made our way down to Lemoyne, back to the Braithwaite estate to meet up with Penelope. So she had written a letter to us previously, shortly after we got to Beaver Hollow, and we met up with her and Beau at the train station and basically got them away from their relatives. So Penelope had stolen off with the Braithwaite treasure that we were looking for back in chapter 3, and she actually offered us some sapphires, I think it was, a sapphire bracelet, and we turned it down, but we got them off to safety, and they're heading up towards Boston, I think she said. So it was nice to do something for somebody else in this case, something more selfless. We went to her because she needed our help, and we helped her and Beau get off to safety. And I think that's kind of a beautiful thing at this point for Arthur because, this is our redemption, essentially, hence the name of the story. So with that being said, let's officially close things out for the day. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you all later.